retention and stickiness is a very critical point for product-led companies. My name is Ramli John. I'm the manager and director of ProductLed. I work with Wes Bush. He's the CEO of ProductLed. And what we do is we help companies transition from a very sales-led approach where they're very sales heavy to a more product-led approach in terms of the go-to-market. Yeah, I think it's super valuable because it's exactly how a lot of people buy software or buy any type of product these days. Like think about how you buy shoes. You want to try it before you buy it. And it's about the risking that the buying process for the consumer is super, super important. As well as we're finding higher retention and higher conversion for people who are using this approach versus a traditional outbound sales-led approach. Find like there's a lot of synergy between product-led and sales-led. I mentioned earlier that a hybrid approach is actually the best kind of approach that you want to take, where you have some users who want to talk to sales and you have some users who don't want to talk to sales at all. And catering to users or people where they're at and what they need is super, super important to try to get more people to experience the value of product and actually purchase it. One of the things I talked about earlier is around this land and expand strategy, where when somebody lands, they expand. That's one approach that sales-led really, really does shine, where now you're helping users sell up to decision makers, as well as getting them going within the product as well. Some of them, yeah, for sure. I mean, in terms of the metrics, you want to really be looking at the whole customer journey and trying to figure out the percentage of people who are achieving success within your product, whether that's people call it the aha moment. How many people are getting there in the percentage, as well as breaking down each step in that journey and seeing where is the biggest drop off and really mapping that out. I also want to look at something called the time to value. How long does it take for somebody to get to that point where they achieve success with your product? Is it a few minutes? Is it a few days? Is it a few weeks? And it really depends. Like, what is a good time to value really depends on your product and your segment. So it could range from a few minutes to a few hours or a few days, and none of them is a bad thing as long as people are sticking around the long term. And the third thing you want to be looking at definitely is retention rates. Like retention and stickiness is a very critical point for product-led companies. Really good implementation of product-led really requires a cross-functional team. And I see time and time again, like in implementation at HubSpot, at other places that I've talked to, and seeing the companies that we work with, it can't just be the product team. Like people think product-led growth is product management team like centric, where really it's a cross-functional, where sales, customer success, the operations, the finance even really need to have a different kind of mindset on how you can make your users successful from early on, instead of like just trying to get people to close the deal and right from the beginning. One of the best ways to unite a team around product-led or a strategy is having shared metrics, a shared metric goal across the board. And that could be like a weekly active user, or how many people are achieving success within the product. How many percentage of our users are actually converting based on after they've experienced the product. Finding that one metric to get everybody and rally together around is super, super critical. And it really depends on your company which metric that is, as long as it's related to user success. Another one is around making sure that people are attending each other's meetings. Like you have product people who are attending your marketing team meetings as well as the sales team meetings, and making sure that people are up to date and sharing those wins and those lessons across different departments. Yeah, and another one that people are talking a lot about in the last few months, actually the last year, is around community-led growth. I like how you can leverage and build a community and really drive them towards the product-led growth as well. I think they really go hand in hand. If you can somehow build a community around your problem that you're trying to solve, could be super valuable. The challenge is it takes a lot of effort to build a successful community. Like you can't just build a Slack and it's like it works. You need to be there, present, responding to questions, hosting events, like what you guys are doing here. Is super critical. But if you do figure that out, it can really be a great source of not just insights as to what other problems people are facing, but as well as potential acquisition channel for people to refer other people inside of your the community towards your product.